an American classic, Jurassic Park. But who knew one specific scene does a fantastic job of illustrating how greed works for us as traders and investors? Let's take a look. So before we get to the video, a few things. Again, this clip is from Jurassic Park, and it does a fantastic job of illustrating what we have to deal with really on a daily basis in regards to emotions, particularly greed. But this video does a fantastic job of showing just how greed operates. So as you watch the video clip, it's pretty short. Just picture the person as us as traders, as us as investors. And then there's the two velociraptors. Picture that as how greed works in regards to our emotion. So maybe you'll be able to figure out exactly what I'm getting at before the video's even done. But we'll come back and I'll talk about it more in detail. But I mean, I'm a big fan of just trying to use illustrations to illustrate concepts. And in my mind, this illustrates perfectly how greed can sneak up on you even when you think you have greed figured out. So let's take a look at the clip. Such an intense scene. I love it. That was like one of my favorite characters too, which is kind of messed up, but that's a whole nother topic. So in my mind, this is what's going on, and this is what happens with all sorts of traders in regards to greed. Greed is not just a single thing. It works kind of as a team, like the Raptors did. And what a lot of people do, and myself included, especially when I was new and first getting started, was I was locked on it, because you hear it all the time. Heck, you're hearing it right now. Greed is bad. You got to be careful of greed when you're trading. You don't want to get greedy. Pigs get fat, hogs get slaughtered, so don't get greedy. You hear all the cool sound bites, the cool catchphrases, so you are aware of it. And this right here represents, you are aware of it because you hear all sorts of stuff about it and all that. So you think you know what's going on with greed. But what's really going on here is what I like to call false confidence. And false confidence comes from a variety of different ways. False confidence can come from, hey, I just made a winning trade. I got all this figured out. Hey, I'm on a winning streak. I got this all figured out. It's fine. I'm aware of greed. I'm not letting greed affect me because I have it all figured out because, fill in the blank. I've made a winning trade. I have multiple winning trades. Sometimes it's because I've went over a bunch of YouTube videos. So I've researched, I'm studied. I'm not gambling because I put in time and effort to watch YouTube videos, to read random bits of information from across the internet, all that sort of stuff. So winning streaks, free education, just random education. Heck, sometimes I've invested in education, and so I'm totally good to go. And so it's got you locked over here for all those different reasons, and you're focused on it, and you are greed. I got it all figured out. But what's really going on, the way greed operates, it's like, look at me. You got me figured out. Yeah, we're good. Yeah, you beat me to the punch. Oh, you know me too well. But the true greed is standing someplace else and just waiting to pounce. And I think if you're not aware, I do have a free podcast where I interview people from our trading community. And have a lot of episodes. I'll put the link in the description below. But the one thing that I've seen illustrated, or most practical sense of this, from talking and interviewing, many members, is the most common is, it kind of goes like this. So they made good trades. I'm using good very loosely there because they're not really good trades, but that's a whole nother topic. And, you know, they made these good trades, and plus, you know, random education. So yeah, you know, I watched a few YouTube videos. I got all this figured out. So after the random education, I did make a few good trades. You know, there was winning. And then what happens is they do this. So because I thought I have it figured out, you know what? Let's put in more money. So a lot of dollar signs to represent putting in more money. Now this is the true greed that has all of a sudden snuck up on them and is about ready to just, you know, rip their jugulars out right there. So they put in more money. So maybe for these ones, they were just using, let's just say to make the number easy, $100. Boom, win. $100, boom, a win. $100. Wow, false confidence. Greed's got your eyes locked on that. You know what, for this next trade, I'm gonna do, you know what, let's put in 50% of my account. Heck, let's put in my whole full account. Maybe it's not something that drastic, but the point is, instead of using 100, let's use $500 now. Let's use $1,000, just something. They increase their position size. That would be the trader lingo. They increase their position size. And then all of a sudden, this is when true greed jumps out. Something doesn't quite happen because, you know, they're using a lot more money. There's a lot of different psychological things that are going on. And before they know it, their account is back to where they started. And in many cases, again, this is not me talking in theory. You can go, I'd encourage you, go back and listen to many of the interviews from my podcast. And people say, yeah, I got way too overconfident because I had false confidence in the first place. And then all of a sudden a trade happened. You know, the raptor jumped out of the trees and my account was at even, or in many cases, even less than where they started. Have you been there before? A huge example, and it happens all the time, myself included, is you're making money, you grow your account. And then all of a sudden, something happens and you just, you refuse to sell. You buy more. You know, strong hands, buy the dip. Something happens. Well, what's happening is, you know, the greed is finally jumping out of the woods and all of a sudden you take a huge loss. You know, it happens all the time and this is what's going on. That's how greed operates. And in order to really be aware of this, in order to see, you know, the full picture, let's find another color here. There we go. So in order to be aware of, you know, this full picture, so to get, you know, your best kind of line of sight, this is why a lot of the other videos I talk about, you know, take your time. You know, invest into some actual education. Sure, I'm biased in that since I sell courses, but even if you're thinking about somebody else's courses, then yeah, do it. If you like their style, then invest in it so you can see the full picture. Paper trade. I'm not going to go through these all, like I said. If you want to get the full vision, you know, check out my educational courses, you know, that do require money. But a lot of the other concepts that I talk about from the free videos is also going to help you see the full vision of things and not get laser focused on something that isn't really there. So hopefully this helps kind of show you how greed works, why people think they're doing so well, think they have greed figured out, think they have trading figured out, and then all of a sudden like that, wait a minute, what just happened? How is my account red now? This is what's going on. So watch that clip a few more times if you need to. But for those of you that are Jurassic Park fans, hopefully I've kind of corrupted that scene now. So whenever you watch it, it'll be a friendly reminder. Oh yeah, that's how greed works. So hopefully you found this helpful. Questions, comments, as always, leave those below. Subscribe to the channel. Check out a lot of the other videos, a lot of good stuff. And again, I will link to that my podcast that I offer, and you can go and listen to the journeys of many other you know, traders that have kind of learned this lesson the hard way.